Boom.
Boom.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Seat Time. This is episode 50. This is a pretty big deal.
It is. 50? I didn't think you were going to make it.
I didn't know I could count that high. The only reason I can is because I've had to +1 every time I've done show notes for the past 50 whatever weeks it's been.
Oh.
So, my name is Brian Pierce. We got Todd Slavic here next to us, born and raised Texan. And
Yes.
he's also a pretty much badass. He's known as the cowboy in multiple levels of the world, but mainly from the BMX community. Is that kind of a true statement?
That is true. That is
okay. So how did you get? Okay, before we go ahead, let's take this just a hair bit serious. We're trying to make each other look sexier. That's the thing right now. He's ugly, I'm ugly, but with the beer optics and the beer that we're drinking, we're gonna become way more gorgeous. What do you think?
The beer goggles are definitely working.
Is it working?
Yes.
Hey. It's totally worth it.
Yes, it is.
Beeroptics.com. Go check them out. Radical Rich Taylor has gone ahead and helped us out. He sent us a couple pair for us to try on. I think that they're making the show worthwhile.
I think so. Hey, and they're actually really good. They've got a lot of vision. Y'all need to try these things out.
Okay.
I'm pretty impressed. I've been wearing other goggles for years, and I will tell you, I'm pretty impressed with these.
Yeah, the foam, right off the bat, they say, they talk
100%.
about their 4-layer foam and everything. Boom, you put them on, you notice it right off the bat. And then as well, you can get all your tear-offs and all your roll-off forms in case you're off-road guys like us. The field of vision, I think you were saying, right when you put them on, it seemed to be pretty wide.
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed is how far out to the outside that you can see with the goggles.
Yeah.
I can't see that with any other ones.
Now that it's super bright in here, oh my gosh,
my Lord.
seriously. But then it comes in all kinds of fun flavors. So go ahead, check it out, beeroptics.com, and give them a win. They're a big supporter of Seat Time because Radical Rich Taylor's pretty damn radical. Okay, so, Cowboy, where did that name come from?
Actually, back in 84.
I was 5. Let's go ahead and put that out there.
That just showed my age.
The gray hair showed your age.
Yeah. Merle Meniga, the owner and president of ABA, gave me that name. I had this jump that I did, and I don't know if you remember the jump that when you jumped in the pool, you did a cowboy.
I do.
I had a jump that you kind of grabbed your junk, and he told me to clean it up just a little bit, and so I did, and
now
there it was. Yeah, that's how I got my name.
That's pretty awesome. So you've been called that since '84, and you're from Texas. It's not even just like...
Born and raised.
That's pretty awesome, dude. Okay, so the thing about Todd Slavic, though, is he's not just a bona fide badass when it comes to BMX. He's also a very, very talented trials rider and, as well, off-road racer. And I've seen him on a motocross track, and he could definitely hold his own. But 2009-2010 Toro season is when you overalled the A, right?
Yes.
When you got your overall A, and that's the Stephen Greiner Award, I believe?
Yes, Stephen Greiner is a good friend of ours, passed away. It was one that just meant a lot to us.
Yeah.
It definitely meant a lot to me. I bought my first big bike from him. First KT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was riding 125s, and he got me into a 300.
Man,
and,
that's a big
very violent. If you ever rode a Stephen Greiner bike, it was very violent.
Well, from what I unfortunately never got to meet him, but from what I understand, he definitely could ride a bike, and he could make him scream. So
good guy. I mean, all around, bottom line, a great guy.
Nice. So you got that helmet, though. I know that's going to mean a lot to you. When are you going to come back and kick some more Toro ass?
Well, I broke my tib fib last year or so. That took a lot out of me when you were 40 years old.
Older than 40.
The brakes get a little bit longer and so forth. So, but I'm back and running and so forth like that, and just I'm just
having
getting
fun?
back to enjoying riding again.
That's understandable.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so as well, we were saying that he's got some fame in the BMX community. So you actually had there is pictures of a signature grip that you had out, and as well that there's a where Todd the Cowboy Slavic would sit. I mean, that's pretty cool that you've got not just friends that would make you really signature items like that, but that ODI actually was about to produce a signature grip for you guys. Unfortunately, it didn't seem that it came to fruition. But
yeah, it's sad. I mean, but it is what it is. It was just the wrong timing, I think.
Yeah.
BMX kind of took a standstill for a little while, and now it's huge, unbelievable. The tracks are just. It's in the Olympics. It's crazy. Jumps are 30 to 40 feet. And
that's all pedal power too. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like that those guys are moving as quick as they are.
And they changed the game ever since they started clipping in and
being able to pull up while you're pushing down and everything. Yeah, like we do on cross country.
We were just basically running flats and so forth, and running flat turns and your seat up.
Banana seats.
You're running your seats up about 10 feet high, and
to see what happens.
Oh yeah. So it was good. It was a good time. I think I grew up in the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen all the pictures of you with your mullets and your awesome tan line, so I know that you had a good time, and I know that I've always had a lot of fun hanging out with you, so you're definitely a cool dude in my book, and I'm glad that you could make it on the Seat Time to discuss one of the big things that happened locally for us this past weekend was the Dallas Supercross. Now, this was
Two
just
thumbs
an
up.
epic event in multiple facets. I think for myself, I was out filming on Saturday with the Violation1.com team,
Which they look good. I was worried. I was really, with that whole system that they've got going on, I was kind of really worried. A lot of the guys looked really good once when they started getting used to the track. I know they had a couple of guys there that had some injuries.
Yeah.
And it was sad that to see that. But the overall appearance, overall look of the team, I tell you what, I was kind of blown away. This is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, dude, it totally took me by surprise. I mean, I knew they had a semi and all that stuff, but at the same time, I mean, they were a very professional team. They were run as a professional team. Brian Story did an amazing job. He's with SMS Racing. I mean, he kind of, I'm not going to say he got thrown into the mix, but he got asked to come into the mix at a very last minute deal, and I think he's just made the best of it. He has had so much fun. He's learning. Yeah. First Supercross as a mechanic.
And we know him. We know him real well,
yeah.
and he's a great guy. And
so forth. Definitely, if you're looking for a KTM or a gas in the area, smsracing.net is where you could check them out. So a lot of fun there for myself. I know we got to shake hands, but then while I was filming, you actually got to watch practice and a lot of that earlier stuff going on. So how was that for you? I want to know your experience. What you thought about everything.
Of course. I keep hearing Reed, not real well in practice, not having a good, lap times during practice. The son of a gun stepped it up. He was by far the best looking guy out there, period.
Yeah, and I like I said, I wasn't out there for practice, but that was what a lot of the stuff I read was that he was coming back from San Diego ready to just take down Filippoto.
Filippoto, he looked fast in one corner. That was it. After the long rhythm section in that flat corner, he looked unbelievable through there. He was the fastest son of a gun there. Dungey, what can you say? I mean, he's just consistent. I mean, he wasn't the fastest guy, but he just looked like he looked a lot like Wyndham. I mean, just ultra smooth.
Always there.
Not really. It seemed like he wasn't pushing it or anything like that, but he was still pulling some great lap times.
For sure.
Another one, Bubba. Bubba, on the other hand, he, to me, looked like he was kind of playing around a little bit. It looked like he was, to me, he would get behind Dungey or get behind somebody, let them kind of go out, and then he was reeling them in pretty good. But he wasn't. It didn't seem like he was really wanting to pass them or anything like that. But he would reel them in.
I wonder if that's a little bit of that. He's trying to stay a little bit more consistent, maybe slow down as much, not push himself to make some of the mistakes that he's kind of known for as of right now. Anyway,
but,
I don't know.
But as far as the 450s, I mean, you try to look at all the other ones, practice, but you always got to look at your top fives.
Yeah.
The Wyndham, on the other hand. He won first round of practice.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he was on. I mean, he just went out there and busted one lap that was just unreal. And then, the lights guys.
And it was just cool because it's the first round of the East Coast. So, I mean, we had a lot of people coming out swinging ready to, they'd been waiting to race for
a lot of new
rounds,
guys out there. A lot of new guys. A lot of people. I think everybody looked really good. The guys that were, you could tell who did their homework.
Yeah.
The people who showed up at practice.
Yeah.
And there was some people casing. There was some people that was.
Oh, man. Speaking of casing, there's a couple different guys. I think broken wrist, Gavin Audette. He broke his wrist casing the triple. Another guy literally tacoed his front wheel by casing some of the big triples that were out there.
Now, did you see the guy that got catapulted?
Oh, yeah, that was the guy that was on our team.
I thought he was on Kawasaki.
Oh, there was a guy. No, the guy that got catapulted. Oh, there was two. There was one guy in the Kawasaki that got catapulted was the one that tacoed his wheel.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was Jeremy Huddleston. He over jumped it, and when he landed, his wrist blew off and whiskey throttled it, and just his bike went in the stands.
This guy looked like when he landed, it looked like he got shot out of a rocket.
Oh.
I mean, his feet were together and his hands were right there next to him, and he just went donk and landed right back on his bike. It was nasty, but But like I said, you can tell who did their homework and
right.
who really worked during the off season. And the other guys, they probably did, but man, they know that there's going to be some big triples that they need to start really.
Yeah, I don't honestly, man. I was like listening to Brian talk to Jeremy and some of the other guys around there about how to kind of mentally prepare for that, and like, oh, you just made a mistake before the turn, but you've got to enter the turn and come out with this amount of speed because you've got to make the triple, and it's like just that mentality is just something I've never had to focus on or deal with, and that's got to be.
Well, that you got to make sure that you hit your mark. You got to make sure that you're in the right gear and you're getting. The right amount of traction going up to the face, not chopping off, not.
Yes.
And one thing I really could say is a lot of the teams, their suspensions were working great. A lot of the privateers, it just seemed like their rebound was just catapulting them so high.
Oh, yeah, because I did hear Sean Lapinovich talking about Shane having some issues with that, where it was like you need to make sure you stay lower because when he would hit the triple, he was like
they were just unbelievable. But
it seemed like they were spending about half a second too long in the air when they should have been back on the gas. So practice was a lot of fun. Todd got to hang out in a suite, apparently. I don't know who that was
towards the end.
But,
we got in there.
He threw his name around and made some stuff happen. So, it was fun.
It's all about who you're with.
It's all about who you know. Yeah. Well, I don't know anybody, so I was just having fun where I could. But once we got to watching the racing, obviously the heat races were amazing. A lot of crazy stuff happened that. Man, it's not even really that people are calling it the moment, and they're going to find out how big of a moment it is. It's Chad Reed's wreck. You were talking about how good of a job he was doing in that 450 main. He was absolutely on fire. He was riding the best that I've seen him ride in years.
I kind of want to cry for him. I really do.
You could feel the stadium. I mean, the air was just completely sucked out. It's just because everybody who even the people that just bought tickets 6 hours before that didn't even know what Supercross was, could physically tell how hard he was charging and the effort he was putting forth to catch and pass Filippo. So when that happened,
it looked like he wasn't even putting an effort in. That's where he was at. It seemed like he would just make a small little dabble mistake. Filippo would pull out. Next thing you know, Reed is back on his tail. No effort.
And it was. I mean, I've tried to watch the footage over and over again. There's nothing that can really say what happened. I think it's just his front. He didn't hit it just right, which is what he needed to do the way he had been hitting it, and so his front end started to drop. He tried to pull it up a little bit, but unfortunately he just caught it, just like Stewart in Daytona last year.
And that's what, I was talking to a couple of people, and they were like, man, it kind of looked like his front wheel was kind of up in the air like Stewart was. But if you really think about it, that was really a soft section through there. I think that back end, I think that he got into that rut on the inside, and it soaked it in.
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah, because you could definitely tell all of a sudden that front end was going down. It clipped that third roller he was trying to cover.
I think he thought that he was going to clear that third roller.
He did not.
No, he didn't.
So he unfortunately, once he did, got forward. We all kind of saw it. His pants got stuck on the foot peg, and that kind of ripped his ACL, and then unfortunately broke his tib fib as well. So I mean,
I think he fractured it.
It's not good, unfortunately, for Chad Reed, and hopefully
broke rib.
Yeah, I mean it's bad, and it's just and they say he's 30. You were just talking about age. Age does come to play a factor. Whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, it always compounds itself, and so it's going to be a long road for him. Will he be back in 2012? We don't know. Will he be back with the team? Will he be back riding at all?
He better, because I've jumped the bandwagon. I mean, I'm telling you, I was never. Yeah, well, I'm a KTM fanatic. You know that.
Yes.
I'm happy that we've got Dungey. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a good asset to KTM. He's probably one of the best. Reed had always been that golden boy, and you kind of hated that.
Yeah, well, I thought he was always pretty cocky, too.
Yeah, exactly. And plus his eyebrows were always really trimmed.
His diamonds, bling, bling, bling,
but
like that.
You see him putting the effort and so forth into his, 2-2 Motorsports. I jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah, you drank the Kool-Aid?
Yes, I jumped on the 2-2 bandwagon, and I really like what he's about now.
Yeah, I would agree, and I hope. I mean, we know he's gonna bounce back in some form or fashion. It's gonna be good. I just hope that it doesn't completely isn't a detriment to the team and the future that he was building, because he was building a very, very large future for not just himself but for that team. And so we'll see how that comes back. Yeah,
call me.
Slavic will totally fill in.
Send me the 2-2.
Yeah. What's up? You get that hydraulic clutch in a Honda. That's what you would get out of it, pretty much.
Might have to put a flywheel and enduro suspension on it, but I'm there.
Totally gonna jump the triples for you. And then, so we take it to the lights again. We had some really good racing. Barsha coming out with the win, but some of the stuff that was catching people's eyes was the fact of like Durham and they say the way that he took out Warden. I unfortunately missed that, but I heard that was the worst of the two when it comes down to the Stewart and Bogle one. You know, I mean, everybody's kind of got their opinions on that, and you're kind of more on the side of the fence that Rubbin's racing with the Stewart and Bogle one.
Yeah.
Not with Bogle slapping his head. That's just stupid. But
oh no.
Everybody has a moment.
You know, if open hand slap on the back of the head, that's just like don't
you dummy.
You know, yeah. You know, if it's a closed fist and it's more to it, the slap on the back of the helmet, big deal. Yeah. That's what we pay to see. Yeah. That is what we pay to see. We love to see the drama. We like to see the bad guy, the good guy, we love to see that. That's why we paid, the money to go see these races.
Well, that's why probably some people paid. I don't think you did.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, well. True. That's why a lot of us like to go play.
That's why a lot of us have friends that we like to have and keep around. No. But it's just interesting because of the fact that it's like, Stewart on the KTM, Malcolm Stewart, everybody really wanted to see how he was going to do. And he
did great. He looked good.
He rode much more better. He rode much better on the KTM and looked more consistent than I think he ever did on the Suzuki.
Well,
he may have had more time to test on that, but I don't know.
Well, you've got to look who the Stewarts have been associated with. Okay, I think with Bubba going, to Joe Gibbs, I think they've settled him down. I think that he is in a spot now where I hate to say he's got that father figure, but he's got that guy, that mentor.
He's actually being coached.
Exactly. I think that they've put an ultimatum on him and say, okay, this is what you need to do to perform, and this is what you're going to do. We are paying your bills. No one else is paying your bills. We are paying your bills. Same thing with Malcolm. I think they got him away from, the bad influences and so forth that has kind of given them the bad rap and so forth. And I think that the satellite KTM team that they're on, that's a good deal for them. I think so.
I think it's going to be a good ride for Stewart, and as long as he can stay off the ground. Unfortunately, we'd say that about his brother too. They both be in a lot better places, but that's just the first race.
Hey, try to go that fast and stay off. Try to go that fast and stay off the ground.
I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try to go that fast.
We would be on the ground.
Yeah, but Warden was having a really good run, and it looked like him and Durham got together. Durham, holy crap, he was really good on the 510. The 510-11 mods or whatever the heck it was, the Honda team. And then, of course, now that he's on the Pro Circuit team, he's doing exactly what everybody thought he was going to do. He's freaking riding to his capabilities. So
I don't think he was running as fast. He definitely wasn't running as fast as Barsha.
No.
But Barsha was on a mission.
Yeah.
He
cut that hair and he got serious.
Yeah. He wanted by him. He wanted out. He wanted out in front and done. What another disappointing.
Go on.
Matt Lemoyne.
Oh,
sorry, Matt.
Yeah, number 60. Yeah, dude, that was disappointing.
He was flying he looked so good during practice. The heat races.
He's on the new HRT Kawasaki team.
Right, I believe so. He looked unbelievable. And I was like, okay, this might be a good race that he is going to just make podium. I had a dead set that he was making podium.
That first turn and first rhythm section really pushed a lot of people wide, a lot of tough block moving around, and unfortunately, I think Kyle Cunningham, he was looking great during practice in the heat races, and then unfortunately he goes out and gets 20th place. Matt Lemoyne was 19th, so I mean it was just that really sucked with that.
When it's enough to knock your front number plate off,
that was in that Blake Baggett. Yeah, he was running around. That guy doesn't know how to keep any accessory on. His visor's either off or his freaking number blade's coming down.
Sounds good.
So it was kind of crazy. So in first place though for the lights and obviously points wise, since this was round one in the East, is going to be Barsha. Then we had Durham and Roxon. Roxon, really happy to see him up there. It seemed like he had a really bad start just with everybody else, and so the fact that he was able to work us all the way up to the front. Very good potential for amazing season for KTM there, I think.
Yeah, Roxon really looked good. It took him a while to get going.
Yeah,
and
maybe that's a KTM thing. I don't know.
Kinda, hope not.
Yeah,
but no, it was
because Musquin's almost kind of, you could say the same thing.
Yeah, but he was once when he got in the groove, you could see him just start picking up the pace,
and picking people off.
Yeah, and how he just did not get that, that second place. Yeah, right there at the end, I'm blown away.
He had to just keep pushing it, and unfortunately, Durham was able to hold him off. So. Yeah. And then, so then we go to do the big boys, and Villapoto, as we were saying, just totally dominated. Unfortunately, Reed was, bringing it. The bringing had been brought in by Reed's crash, so Villapoto got first place, Dungey in second, and then Weimer in third. So Kawasaki's actually having a great year. Reed,
Weimer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guy can ride. It's just that he unfortunately had all those injuries, and now he's trying to come back and stuff. So, I mean...
And I was kind of wanting to see Weimer get the second, but I'm glad Dungey got the second.
Yeah.
But it's he's kind of been the beaten boy here.
Yes.
The first part of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And
so so the way the points are working out right now is Villapoto is 13 points up on Dungey, and then so Dungey in second, and then third place is still Reed points wise. Right. But unfortunately, because of the fact that he will be out the rest of the season, that's just gonna
I don't think they're
stay the number it's
gonna
be.
No.
So, what do you think? Do you think they're going to do a fill-in, a team? They said they're going to have a big powwow on that. You think they're?
Well, who do you get?
I don't know.
It's kind of like
they've already got.
It's kind of like a quarterback. It's kind of like Romo. I mean,
they've already got fill-ins for Trey Kennard, and so I mean, who's their Honda guys already filling in.
Who is there?
Cole Seeley is filling in for them. So I mean, I don't know. Was Travis Baker doing good last year on the 450 when he rode the Troy Lee Honda 450.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Mark my words, but I guarantee it, Barsha, T2 Motorsports next year. That's going to be my
prediction.
That's going to be
he's
my
got
prediction.
He's got the attitude that Reed could.
He wants on the 450s.
Yeah.
That's why he's wanting to just get this thing over with, and he wants back on the 450s.
I think it's a pretty good prediction. I want to see how that's going to come out. I like it. That's a good one. Okay, so the thing is this doesn't happen because of the fact that we're just cool people. Unfortunately, there are other cool people that support us, and Fly Racing is one of those cool companies that help us out. FlyRacing.com is the URL where you can go check out all the gear that they have, all of the cool casual wear, and as well all the backpacks, the fun stuff. They've got goggles, and they're supported by WPS, Western Power Sports, and that way you can get all your distribution stuff. Now, I just have to say that this is awesome because of the fact that I did an interview with Jason Raines, and he was badass enough to send me one of his jerseys as a thank you for just kind of hitting him up.
I walked in, and here he is. No underwear on, no nothing, just wearing the shirt.
Just the jersey. I had shoes on.
And the goggles.
Well, I mean, you got to keep it classy.
True.
Tea back! Tea back, baby! Bring your tea back! Oh, Jordan's just all mad at me about something. Okay, so we had some more racing that went on, some of the stuff that we like to do. Enduros, this round 2 of the National Enduro Series this past weekend was the Cherokee in Greensboro, South Carolina. Georgia. Wow. Okay, Georgia. Whatever. It happens. Now, it was rainy. It was raining all day.
I heard it was pretty nasty.
They said it was pretty nasty. Lots of people were having bike mechanicals and stuff like that just because the mud was all tight. It was slick. It was wet. Sounds like a good Saturday night.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. I heard they were digging bikes out with the 4-wheelers.
Yes. That is what I've heard as well.
That is an enduro.
Yeah, that's when you're like, hey, man's man, what's up? How you doing? Did you finish? No? Oh.
I can just stay out of the mud.
Yeah, you would think that. Hey, I finished Train Robbers, and that was a hell of a mess. But it's okay, so round 2, Stewart Baylor Jr., first place, second time in a row. I mean, the kid right now is sweeping it, and it's pretty impressive considering the fact that he came off his XC2 GNCC win last year.
I think he's doing his homework.
Yeah.
He is definitely been working his butt off, for sure. He looks good.
I agree. I think he wants that back-to-back XC2 championship, and this is just a way to put the needle in the haystack beforehand.
Well, there was a lot of people that were kind of thinking that I think that he's wouldn't have the drive to do any of that.
The fortitude?
Yes. The fortitude.
Well, obviously it's working, so it's great for him, and I really hope to see that it's consistent. Like, I don't want it to be a fluke. I think it would be awesome.
Corey had a pretty good ride as well.
Corey Buttrick? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think he was 4th overall last year, and come the second overall this year, and he's still in the 2-stroke, which I think is pretty awesome.
I'm all about the 2-stroke.
Yeah. I just put a 300 kit on my bike. Did you know that?
Let's go ride it.
Okay. No, we don't do that. We've been drinking. We don't
know. No, tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. Tomorrow we will go drive it. And then third place, who did we have? Michael Lafferty. That guy's like 2 years younger than you.
I'll tell you what. I got caught behind... Lafferty caught me at the National Enduro.
Yeah, I bet you've been caught behind Lafferty.
Yeah. I'm telling you what. He is probably one of the guys that manhandles...
Everything? Everything?
I'm glad I wasn't that Husey.
Dude,
he was on
I've
that.
seen
he
that
was
guy
on that
go through the woods
stroke.
before, and it's just like, boo, and just, he just beats up every
just
tree.
picks that bike up and is just picking that bike up left and right. 2 turns, I was wore out just watching him.
You're like, oh my gosh, I can't take it. I need more
But
lube.
he left. I mean, he got away from me probably the quickest out of all the pros.
2 turns and you're done. Huh?
Yeah,
Like
I just got
chump.
I'm telling you, I was wore out just watching him work that bike.
Good Lord. Well, maybe we need to go do some more nationals. You gonna come do the Acadiana one with me?
Might.
Ooh. Maybe we'll go and show Mike Lafferty what's up.
Might have to get a hall pass. I do need to. I do need to uphold my over 40 world domination.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take over the world somehow. You can't do it with all that gray hair.
Got to do it.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so what's coming up in the near future? This coming up weekend is the Off-Road Cup. Now, Lucas Como from actually the Acadiana Dirt Riders started Acadiana Racing and the LACC, and then this is the second year, so second annual Off-Road Cup. It is a 9-hour 3-man team. Now, the Moore guys won this last year for the first ever inaugural, I guess, if you will, if I'm trying to sound smart. And so they're going to try to uphold that. Now, they've got, the Moore group has Kirkpatrick, Levan, and Say it. Ingram. Zach Ingram. Boom! Yeah, what up? No,
I was going to make sure you get...
Yeah, I got it. It's my Arkansas boy. So, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Tell you what, they're good guys. I mean, you know, I've ridden with all those. You know, I'm poor Steve. I wish he would just grow. But I love the guy to death. He's a great guy.
Height-wise, or?
Yeah, height-wise. And poor Cole. I mean, I wish he would stop growing.
Yeah. I love Cole, though. I mean, they're all great guys. Steve Levan is really always fun to talk to because he's got opinions. We could say that. Like, he's always got really good opinions. Cole Kirkpatrick and Zach Ingram are just down to earth, good old boys for sure. But I think that they are beatable. I think that there are going to be teams. There's teams coming from Wisconsin. So, I mean, there's going to be quite a few people.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more people that know about it this year.
Yeah, I think last year it was just kind of, inaugural, get it started, but this year it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I hope for Lucas's sake that they just have some good racing.
I hope everybody plays it safe too. I mean, that's
9 hours.
Better than 24.
That's true. I don't want to do that. Maybe I do. Okay, so round 3 of Works is also happening this weekend in Nevada, in Mesquite, Nevada, at Mesquite MX. So Mike Brown is going to see if he can continue his KTM domination and continue to whoop everybody else's ass as long as Robert doesn't have mechanical. Dude, because Sully was right. You put $5 in a parking lot, that dude's going to get on his bike and ride you for it. Like, it happens, man. That dude is just ready to damn race. It's ridiculous.
I love it. I love it that he's all that. I love it that he's.
I can only hope. Yeah. It was when I was talking with Rains. He was asking me how old I was, and him and I are actually right about the same age. He's like, "Don't worry, dude. It's gonna start coming on." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, just think about it. You got till about 38, and then you're gonna start getting slower. Like you'll be getting faster." So then I was like, "But you've been faster than me this whole time. It doesn't make any sense, man." So.
That's funny.
I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, episode 50. I've had a lot of fun. The beer goggles. I'm just going to put them back on.
Oh, I think I will too.
I have to say, I never thought that we would make it 50 episodes in. I know that everybody out there definitely never thought that we were going to make it 50 episodes in. But apparently people are out there, they're creating their own shows, and that's what we want. We want to make sure that everybody is enjoying their life, especially their life when it comes to motorcycles. I think that this is a great sport, and I love this family. Always have, always will. So I appreciate everybody that watches. What do you think?
I love it. I tell you what, I'm back anytime you will have me.
Love it. As long as you bring the beer this time.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to. All right. Seattime.co is the URL where you can always find us online as well on Facebook. Facebook.com/Seattime and on Twitter. Seattime_CO as well. We started a YouTube channel, SeatTimeCO. Yeah, I don't know. They wouldn't let me put a hashtag or a dot or whatever, so it sucks.
Son of a gun.
But those monkeys. So, if nothing else, please grab your beer. Jordan, peace us out on this one. Cowboy, thank you for being on the show.
Appreciate it. Love you.
Always enjoy. Pint full of awesome. I love you.
I had a big pint of awesome while ago. Does it work?
Bye.
See you later.